All right, how's it going, everybody? Episode 91 of the Erick and Brad Show. Episode 91 of the Erick and Brad Show. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. This is the 91st time that we are doing this show. It is September 3rd. We are in full-on back-to-school mode. I got my Mead notebooks. I got my number 2 Ticonderoga pencils. And I'm fucking ready to go. I got my first... We're already past the first day of school, so I had my first day of school outfit all laid out the night before, planned, perfected, so that I'm walking in fresh like I own the joint. What's up? How's it going, everybody? My name is Brad. This is Eric. How are you?
Oh my gosh, so good. So good. Are you excited to go
Long
back
time
to
no
school?
see. Yeah.
Now that it's free for everybody, I mean, might as well go.
I hate the first week back to school.
You did? Why?
I don't know. Summer's over.
Oh,
About to start getting assigned assignments.
that is depressing. Oh, I am not ready
There's new
for summer
kids.
to be over, I'll tell you that much. I'm
Yeah,
sick of
it's
talking to these fucking Idaho people, and they're like, oh, we're so excited for snow. It's like, dude, get out of here. It's so dumb.
Dude, I mean, like, the next 2 days here is going to be 99.
That's perfect.
So,
That's perfect.
it's fucking smoldering hot.
Did you hear that whole story about in Denver, Colorado, all those people that had signed up for, I'm not exactly sure. It's like, I think through their power company, they like bought a smart thermostat and it like runs their house. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And so, and then you like elect to be in this program. I don't know if you get this. I get these like here in Portland is you elect to be in like these programs, and like mine's like, I did it forever ago and I haven't changed it back, but it was like using more green energy or whatever. And you pay like 1% more in your bill or whatever. That was like one I got roped into a long time ago. But the one in Denver it's $25 or $100 off when you sign up for it, and $25 off a year or something like that. And then you're in this like smart thermostat deal they got going on. Well, in the fine print, there's some shit in there. Well, the other day, they all found out what that fine print was. Is it hit the 90s in Denver, and they were scared about brownouts or whatever. You know, like the power grid going down. So they just shut all the people that had elected for it. They shut all their thermostats off, and they couldn't bypass it. And so they're just stuck without, they couldn't turn their AC on in their house. And like, 22,000 customers in Denver, and they were not fucking happy about it. And the company's just like, well, you signed the paper. We were allowed to do it. You know, they're like, it really helped the power grid out. Nuts. Yeah. And then of course, you know, a bunch of people are, you know, commenting on Twitter and shit like that. And I do agree with it. And we've covered things like this a million times, but that's a pretty scary thought, like that, like self-driving cars, cryptocurrencies, when your shit is just like digital. And okay, you're all up here like, yeah, self-driving cars, that could get manipulated. I say anything about fucking cryptocurrency, you're like, no, it's digital, and there would be a way to just shut that shit down. You know, if there was just
like American currency.
Not if it was cash.
Yes, but if it's in your bank account, then yeah.
Well, start digging out bottles of fucking cash in your backyard. Dog, you ain't doing that?
No, I'm not.
Well, I'll have the last laugh, dog. You'll be over there freezing your ass off in North Dakota when the fucking machines attack, and I'll have money.
Yeah, and it was just the other day when it's like California wants, you know, no more gas-powered vehicles by 2030 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, doesn't every summer they have like rolling blackouts already?
Well, that's the silly thing is like everyone's so...
The grid is not ready for that.
And we could be ready. And that's the silly thing is like, you know, I'm sure there's a good, you know, saying like you're putting the fucking cart before the horse, like because they're like, okay, we need all self-driving cars in King County in Seattle. You can't build houses now with gas in the house. Can't. It's illegal. Like everything has to be electric. You have to have electric everything. Electric furnace, electric ranges, electric dryers. No gas can run anything. And
Wow.
Side note, that kind of makes me. I think that's bullshit. Just for cooking, that really irritates me because gas is the king of cooking. Fuck convection stovetops, but they do all that. But then then they're like no nuclear power and all these things, And now I can't remember the argument, but I remember Lars talking about it. Is they're starting to argue that hydroelectric isn't green. They're like, that's not green energy. It needs to be solar and wind. And it's like, but that's silly talk because you can't rely on wind and solar. It's just not producing the amount of power that we need to run Los Angeles, Portland, and Seattle. It's just not doing it.
Right.
And, and you want to take away hydroelectric dams, It's like, because there used to be nuclear power plants here in Oregon, and they shut that shit down. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm not smart enough, but I've heard some bickering about it, and it seems to me, I'm maybe just completely retarded, but it seems like it's not that bad of a fucking gig. Is nuclear power makes the most sense. Like, it produces the most.
It's just got a bad reputation.
It's got a bad reputation, but
Yes.
people are saying, the professionals are saying, look, Chernobyl ain't gonna fucking happen. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. Like, we're beyond that point.
I hope so. Yeah, I know. I kind of got a lot of stuff I feel like to get to, and I'm stressed about time.
Okay. You're fine, Doug.
So last show we had a long time ago, my house went up for sale. And so Brad was in full crazy mode. I don't even know what I sounded like, but it's sold. Someone bought it. The guy who bought it is a fucking prick.
Yeah, he is a real asshole. I know this guy.
He's a
real
fucking
dick.
asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know him. I'm fucking sick of him, to be honest with you. Me and him got real problems, and we have for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bought the house. So in the time between our last show and now, it's been closed on and signed, sealed, delivered, and done. And yeah, and I'm okay. I'm all happy with it. It turned out I did some deep thinking about it, and it was like the easier route to take was just to buy it. When I started investigating where I was gonna have to move to, and like my rent was gonna go up anyway, and all this kind of bullshit, and just being tired of renting in general, and I was like, if the easier path to take is literally just buying it. And it's also dawned on me in the past year or so that parking your money in real estate is a good idea as opposed to just cash in the bank. So I think it worked out, and I think I got a good deal and all that stuff, and I'm fine with it. But in the inspection process, the inspection went fine. Like, there wasn't that much stuff. It was a bunch of little stuff. But the inspector's sort of summary he gave me just turned into my to-do list, literally. Like, just wrote down everything that he came up with, and it turned into my to-do list. So then I started just going fucking crazy on projects and getting all of his stuff done. I fixed a shingle on the roof. I fucking since I've lived here, my dryer has always vented inside the house, so now it vents outside the house. So I'm living fucking like luxury. I don't know, all kinds of stuff are happening. A lot of cogs moving around over here. And I don't know, yeah. And I did it the right way, 20% down, 15-year fixed rate mortgage with the monthly payment not being more than 25% of your income. So checked all those boxes. You're supposed to have that down payment not be your 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Didn't check that box. Use that as well. So now Brad is like really broke and need to spend the next year basically rebuilding that 6 month emergency fund. And yeah, I don't know. We're fucking full steam ahead.
That's fantastic news, Doug. Very proud of you. How does it feel to be a big boy?
Good. I mean, I'm not going to be jumping up and down screaming, I'm so great I bought a house, happy birthday, and it's all butterflies. I think I waited too long. However, the thing is, right now, it's better time to buy a house right now than it was a year ago, and it's a better time right now than it will be a year from now. So I hit a little bit of a sweet spot, although I still feel like I was about 5 years too late. So
how old are you? 29?
30.
You're 30? Yeah, I heard a long time ago. It was kind of secondhanded that I heard this, but I really do believe it. A buddy of mine had asked a dude that was seemingly relatively successful and had a nice company and was making a lot of money and had taken all these people out for a steak dinner, all these dudes. And my buddy had asked him, he's like, do you have any advice like for life or whatever? And he's like, buy a house before you're 30. And that was like, and the more I love that there's no fat in that, it's just real straight to the point. And I do think that is a very good, there's so many positives about that. Like, in a million different facets. One, just mentally what that does for you. Like, makes you for me, it made me feel way more confident. You know what I mean? Like just in everyday life. So that, then the other side is money. It's like you actually now are not just blatantly giving your money away. So you can, borrow against the house if need be, whatever, like, I don't know. I think it's a really good piece of advice. I think any male out there or female that should strive for that, to get into a house before you're 30.
Yeah, and like the down payment felt like to me a shitload of fucking money because it was so much money.
Well, you did good by not getting into the FHA, so props on you.
Yes.
I couldn't afford that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I wish I could have had 20% down, but Daddy's not that rich. Daddy didn't invest in all his cryptocurrencies.
Well, my house was only $190,000, so it was like I bought a house from 15 years
ago. But
you
didn't do a 30-year, so that's good because you could have gotten a way lower fucking rate at a 30-year.
Well, no, it was a point higher, the interest rate at 30-year.
Yeah, but your payments would be way lower.
Yeah.
So it would seem way easier, month to month.
Yeah,
to month.
I know, and I don't know. It's certainly it's my first house,
hopefully
but it's certainly not my last.
Hopefully what happens is, what are we in? How long? Are we in 2 years yet with Biden? Or are we a year? What?
Yeah.
2 years? Uh-huh. So hopefully you just paying down for 2 years. You restock up on your money. You find a job in a better place in 2 years. And then giant oil boom hits. And they send a bunch of people over to North Dakota again. And your fucking house fucking skyrockets $100,000. Bam. And then Brad's living on fucking Easy Street, cashing out with an extra $100,000 in his pocket.
There you go.
It could work out that way, man. Really could.
It certainly could. And the whole thing is, the thing that was like my down payment felt like a lot of money. And I was sad about that at first, but then I just had to think, I'm not losing this money. I'm just moving it to a different account. Like I still have the money.
Kind of. That shit does kind of.
That's how I had to start to look at it.
It is how you have to look at it. Sad. But like, I don't know. I've never flipped houses, but when I've really sat and thought about it, it's like you really have to make a substantial amount of money on a flip for it to be worth it, because you ain't gonna walk away. A lot of that money ain't like just, I put $50,000 into it and I'm gonna get that $50,000 out because it's worth the same amount of money. No, you're not. Like, not at all. You're paying for all kinds of shit. All those people that helped you buy the house, they're all getting paid. You know what I mean? They ain't doing that shit for free. Title company ain't doing it for free. Fucking real estate agent ain't doing it for free. The other real estate agent isn't doing it for free. My mom, when I was talking about in Idaho, or when I was thinking about moving to Idaho, man, she really was grilling me on just doing it myself. She's like, you don't need a real estate agent. And she was a real estate agent. And she's like, you just do this and you do this and, you just need to fill this out and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was like, that sounds so confusing. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But, I mean, you really do the math on that. If you can save yourself 3%, that's a pretty good gig. And she was saying, a little side note of that I might try in the future is, she's like, you can like, if you're like, because you don't know how to write a contract and all this shit, for the sell the house. She's like, you just go contact like if you're buying a house, you go contact the selling agent and you say, hey, look, let's work a deal out. You're working for 3%. How about you do 4%? of the sale, and you write the contract, and I won't have a buying agent. You know what I mean? And then the seller will write the contract for you, and then you get away with 2% more. And honestly, that's it's like 2%, but it's like but on a $400,000 house, 2%'s a decent amount of fucking money. You know what I mean?
Well, in this situation, everything got a little squirrely at the beginning because I took too long to make my mind up. But me and the seller used the same real estate agent.
Yeah, but that real estate agent was happy.
Well, yeah, because
Well, and then my mom was saying too. She's like, like here in Portland, it's probably not the same there at all, but it's super hot markets. Even maybe I think it might be slowing down a little bit now, but still just crazy hot markets. And it's like, she's like, you have the option to negotiate with these people, and with it being such a hot market, it's like you can. It's almost, you know what I mean? It's just like fuck it, just be like, no. You do 2%, not 3%. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that contract. Yeah. And especially on the selling side of it, because it's like every real estate, if you could get a house, you're getting the money. Yeah. It's not like it was 20 years ago. You could get a seller that comes in and is like, hey, I want to sell my house. It's like, you're going to have to grind for fucking 4 months before that house is going to sell. In best case scenario, you know what I mean? You're going to be dealing with showing the house over and over and over and over again. And now it's like, if you're a selling agent, you get a house. It's like, that's fucking money in the bank. You got 1 month or a month and 1 week, and you're getting a paycheck. So it's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I would recommend people use a real estate agent just because it's the most expensive thing you're probably ever going to buy.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. So after you say all that, or after you went through all that, you don't agree that they don't do jack shit other than make a contract, but the contract isn't even that crazy. When you read the contract, you're just like, okay, this isn't like 100 pages of a fucking contract. This is just a pretty straightforward thing. They didn't do anything. That real estate agent didn't do jack shit. He wrote a contract.
Yeah, but they still guided me. They still guided me.
With what? With a contract?
Just the process.
He's like, okay, now you got to talk. Now you got to talk to your lender, and then now you go deal with someone. Totally
I don't know.
Different.
They were like the middleman between the inspection guys, the appraisal guys.
You don't need them.
They were telling me what my lender needed to do. It's the most expensive thing you're ever gonna buy. I just don't think you should fuck around.
Yes, but other than the contract is the only thing that needs to be done right. Other than that, they are useless fucking people. Now that you've done now that you've done it, it's like, what do you just talk to your lender, and honestly, your lender is gonna fucking give you, if you have any questions, go fucking talk to your lender. He wants to get paid too. So it's like, he'll tell you what to do.
I had a great lender.
Just be like, all you really need is title company and a lender. You really don't need the real estate agent other than the contract. Fuck those people.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you that the contract is the most important part that they do. I'll give you that. But my lender also was phenomenal. I used my guy Lee Harden, who's in Sandpoint, and he's pre-approved. This is like the 4th time he's pre-approved me. And he was just like so fucking great. I think anybody who needs a lender to buy a house should use him and I felt like, to the fact that he's in Sandpoint, like I literally know where he lives. I've been to his office. I felt like I had somebody on my team, and it wasn't just me and a bunch of strangers. Like, he was on my side. I would text him like way late at night or early in the morning on like a Sunday. He'd text me right back. Then it was all like text. He's a texter, and he's like text me sometimes, telling me what I need to do and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, and then when I was at the title company signing stuff, they were telling me, they're like, your lender is fantastic. I was like, really? I'm like, well, send him some referrals. They're like, oh, we will. I was like, sweet, yeah. He's a good guy. So, I don't know. It was a pretty easy process, I'm not going to lie. If you're coming in with 20% down, I feel like the lights are just green on the street.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely is going to make whoever you actually got lent through they're like, yeah, it makes sense. It's just like, they're not scared anymore. They're just like, this person's putting, like, because if you fail, it's still a pretty good gig for them. They're like, okay, like, that's, we already got this amount of money and we get the house. Fuck yeah. Like, that's a good gig. But when someone's coming in, with an FHA loan, I mean, still they're going to get paid in that. That's why the FHA loan exists. They were only getting, 10 grand down. They're like, I don't know about this. But then the government's going to reimburse them another 40 grand if you fail.
And I'll say this. If you're coming in, like say me and you are both putting an offer in on a house, a $200,000 house, and you say your offer's 200 and you're doing an FHA and my offer's 200 and I'm doing conventional, that seller is going to be like, I'm going with the conventional guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not going to be contingent on all the like stuff that's wrong with it. Like I could still buy it and then fix it later or whatever. When you're going to be like, you won't get your loan funded until that shit gets fixed and all kinds of stuff. And it makes it way easier if you're coming in with 20%.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So football game tickets have been purchased, flights have been purchased, hotels have been booked for this year. Last year I went to Tampa. 2 years before that, went to New Orleans. This year...
Please tell me you're going to Vegas, dog.
No, this year...
Why would you not go to Vegas, dog? Like...
Because I'll be going to a Raiders game. Maybe someday.
But it's going to be the nicest stadium in the fucking States right now. It's going to be such a cool stadium. I want to see that stadium so bad.
They've already been playing in it for at least a year.
Yeah, but it's the newest stadium, is it not?
I think so, maybe. Anyway, at the beginning of this process, I was like, you guys, we got to go somewhere other than the South. Okay? Because we've gone to Tampa and New Orleans. They're like, fine. They're like, how about, I think the first thing we thought of was maybe Buffalo. And we were like, we're going to go to Buffalo? And then all of a sudden, we started talking about going to London. For like a week, they were like, let's go to a London game. They're like, it's really easy. And I was kind of the main person that was saying, I don't want to go to London. It's too far away. It's too much. It's too far away. I'm too scared. Let's stay in the United States. And they're like, okay, but we'll go back to Buffalo. I'm like, okay, Buffalo. And then we started thinking, we go to Niagara Falls. I don't know, all this other stuff. And it's like, then the day we all got together to buy these tickets, they were like, we're not going to go to Buffalo. I'm like, okay. Because the only way to get from here to North Dakota to Buffalo is to go North Dakota, Denver, New York City, Buffalo. Or North Dakota, Denver, Baltimore, Buffalo. There's like 2 layovers. And it was like, this is such a gamble, like a hassle, because flights can just drop out of the sky fucking at the drop of a hat, right? So it's like, we're going to get stuck somewhere. We got to go somewhere easier. So it turns out now we are going to Kansas City.
Nice.
So going to Kansas City, yeah. For a Chiefs game, Chiefs versus Buffalo. The game that Buffalo goes to Kansas City, we're going to Kansas City. And I don't know. I mean, this whole thing, I probably never would have gone to New Orleans without going to these games once a year. Probably never would have went to Tampa. Probably never would have went to Kansas City, fucking Missouri. It's like the only reason to go to Missouri is to go to a Chiefs game. But I think it'll be a good game. Kansas City is like the number 2 ranked barbecue in the country, so that's there. I mean, there's not a lot there, I feel like.
How far away is Kansas from North Dakota or Missouri?
Well, apparently it's an 1.5-hour flight to Minneapolis and then an 1.5-hour flight to Kansas City. And I think it's like a 15-hour drive.
Are you guys going to drive it or fly it?
No, fly it.
It's not a bad drive.
But it doesn't take away that, say, the flights do get canceled, we can't just all of a sudden drive. Couldn't do that to Buffalo. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm super excited. We are all very excited. This is much needed.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm jealous.
Fucking game
I think
tickets.
It's really cool that you guys do that.
Yeah.
And I want to go to I really do. I fucking could give 2 shits about NFL, but I would like to go to an NFL game. That would be pretty cool.
Just walking in the stadium and you just get in there and you're like, it's crazy. It's just like a work of art. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've talked to a few guys that they're just like, you don't get it, dude. It's not like a baseball game or something else. It's way more fucking
just
extreme.
A drunk fest. Yeah.
Right up my alley. Right up my alley.
The hotel we're staying at there is like the oldest fucking hotel in Kansas City. It's made in like the 1920s. So there's plenty of ghost stories around it. It's like an actual historic site there.
That's cool.
You can still get
That's cool to do shit like that.
I was reading the reviews, and the guy who I go with, who found this hotel. I'm like, did you read the reviews? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Because a lot of the reviews weren't that good. They're like, the air conditioning only works when it detects movement. And a bunch of different reviews said that in the rooms. Like, the air conditioning only kicks on when it detects movement. I'm like, whatever. But it's like really old and all classy and stuff. They like held the Republican National Convention there in the 20s when they elected Herbert Hoover to run for the Republican Party, and a bunch of ghost stories and stuff. So I'm fully expecting it to be pretty much just like the movie The Shining. That's my expectation level for that hotel.
That's exciting. That is really cool.
But I don't want to see a ghost. And the game tickets, so fucking crazy expensive. It's just insane. I thought they were so expensive last year because we were going to see Tom Brady. Now they're just as expensive. I'm like, dude, a guy who has like 2 kids can't take his kids to a fucking football game. He just can't. There's no way he can do it like a regular Joe. He would have to save up for like a decade. It's insane.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of irritates me is I would like to go to an NFL game, but yeah.
The tickets this year were $700.
Yeah, that's so stupid. That is not
for
worth
one.
It. For $700,
it's crazy.
You could do some cool shit for $700.
It's not worth it. I'm not gonna lie. It's a huge thing. It's like that is ridiculous. It should be like maybe $50. It's crazy.
That's insane. You could fly to Vegas and then buy a hotel room for $700 a night and get a fucking nice ass hotel room. And
yeah,
I don't.
That's retarded.
It is retarded, but it'll be fun. That's cool. At one time in my life, I'll go to an NFL game. You just got to You got to do it differently. Like, I mean, you guys, it's become this whole thing, so whatever. But I know inevitably it'll just fall in my lap because it's almost fallen in my lap a few times. You got to just be buddies with someone that has a season passes to an NFL.
Fuck yeah.
And then you just work deals out. Because there was a guy that worked for the city. He was a painter or did contracts for the city, and he had always had season passes to the Seahawks. And yeah, it became, he would like have all these people are like, oh, can I have a game? So he'd like literally have a spreadsheet and it'd be like, I'm going to this game, this game, this game, this game, this game, and this game. And these games are open. And then it was just a barter system. And he would always do it for like work. You know what I mean? It'd be like, we'd be doing something and, need his company to come out and be like, well, how about we'll paint it? You know what I mean? Then you don't need to come out. But I want one of those tickets. And you just be like, okay, we can do that. You know what I mean? It's like, you're already there. That shit would always work out.
Yeah.
And I was kind of irritated because I should have gotten a ticket once and it just never worked out. And then I didn't have his phone number, so I couldn't get a hold of him. But
I think when you were working in Colorado and had nothing to do, you should have went to Red Rocks and you should have went to the Broncos
well,
game,
no,
both.
I would have. So Red Rocks, that was out of the question because I was there during the, I wasn't there during a good fucking time to be exploring the fucking mountains. But the NFL, and there was a few buddies that I worked with that went to an NFL game. One of the dudes, that was part of his like negotiations to come to Colorado, as he's like, you got to pay for this and this, and he's like, and then you got to buy me a Denver game. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And so the company paid for a Denver game for them to go watch a fucking NFL game.
Yeah. That's a good way to, if you can somehow negotiate a free ticket, then yes, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. You got to just be friends with, it'd be so cool to have a season pass. How much do you think those fucking things are? What, like?
A lot. I don't know.
How many games are there?
Also, in one stadium?
Yeah.
Maybe like season? 8 or 9.
There's 8 or 9 games a season. Isn't there like 15 games?
Like home games. 8 or 9 home games, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes
games.
sense because you're gone, and then no one's going to be in the stadium. Okay.
Yeah. They have all the money in the world.
So it's
ridiculous.
It's probably at least fucking $5,000, $6,000 to get a season pass.
Oh yeah, I don't know. And I know to even get a season, you can't just like you couldn't go online right now and buy season passes, right? It doesn't work that way. There's a giant waiting list for every team. I hear in New York, the waiting list is like tens of thousands of people long or something
And
to
then
get season tickets.
when you get it, are you like locked in?
Well, you just pass it down to your kids. You can.
But like next season, you don't have to be on a waiting list. You just pay for it and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. But people have had them. You know, my parents had it. Now I have it. The season tickets, and they'll go to my kids once. Fucking. I mean, you got to keep paying, of course, but there's like huge waiting lists for these things.
Yeah, man. I can't wrap my head around that shit. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be fun, but yeah, I'd rather have. I don't know, like. I like here in Portland. I like going to the fucking soccer games. I think that's fun. It's cheap. Fucking the stadium's super cool. Beer's still fucking super expensive, but
yeah, it's just too much money.
Too much money. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting news. I'm jealous that you have a group of people that you do that with. It's cool.
I'm excited.
Boom. Go ahead.
Just a kind. I don't know, not even a real thing, but now, I've been enlisted to do work on my buddy John's website, northidahojujitsu.com. I've done very little so far. I have a lot more to do. I feel more busy right now than I've felt in years.
That's
and
good.
I have a lot of work to do on his website. I don't know. People, go check it out, northidahojujitsu.com. Tell me what you think should be done with it, because I have a lot of ideas, and it just takes so long. I could sit down for fucking 2-3 hours and only get the smallest little thing done. It just takes time. But I'm happy. But the thing he doesn't have is time. He has zero time. So he needed help with just managing this website and sort of making it grow and making Google like it more, making it load quicker, making it more just accessible for someone who's trying to navigate it and whatnot. So I have a fucking lot to do. But I'm gonna give him the royal treatment. Like like I got multiple documents of to-do lists and history of whenever I make a change, it's gonna be written down so we can go look back through it and we can see everything that's been done. And I'm just going to try to make it so much better than it currently is, even though it's currently really, really good. But we need a lot more. So I'm excited about it, and I just, I don't know. It's cool. I like doing it. I like helping out a buddy.
That's really rad. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you got?
I watched Get Out. I'm like 3 years late to that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
crazy, right?
Well, yeah, it was good. I was locked into it. I don't know. I little let down.
It was weird.
I don't think. I mean, I don't know what other movies came out that year, but I was like, this isn't up to par with in my mind, receiving best movie of the year or whatever whatever it got. What'd it get? Best director?
No. Maybe best director.
It won something. It won a big one. It won.
Okay.
And I didn't. Yeah, dude. It won. Didn't it win best film?
No chance in hell.
Why do you say that?
I can look. It's gonna be. I would have known, and I don't. It's. I just would have known. It didn't win anything.
Yes, it did. Because it was the first, dude. Yes, it fucking did.
Original screenplay. Academy Award for Original Screenplay.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty big award.
Well, and wasn't it the first time a thriller has won that award or whatever? That was like the big deal about it was, or
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting these ideas. I'm pretty sure Silence of the Lamb won a bunch of shit.
Well, yeah, but it's been like a long ass time since. I don't fucking. I didn't.
I mean, I liked it. I'll never watch it again, but I watched it once. Our listener Chris told me to watch it, and I did a couple years ago, and I thought it was good.
I don't know. I guess maybe I'm making all this stuff up in my head, but I felt like there was a lot of hype behind the movie, like that it was supposed to be this really good movie, and it was good. But I was one was like right when it started. I'm like, really, is this what we're doing? Like, just this very race field like narrative going on in the movie. And then I watched it on, I don't know, some streaming service, and at the end, once the credits roll, it plays the alternate ending to the movie. But when the alternate ending played, it's
weird.
It's what's his fucking name?
Oh, the other guy?
No, the director.
Jordan Peele?
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan Peele.
He's like talking over the whole alternate version. Like, and so you're listening to him, and he just like, yeah, like comes out saying exactly what the movie was all about, and blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, this is all about how racism is still real in America, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I can't, fuck this movie. Like, fuck you. Like, it just made me so mad. It was just like, oh my God. My internet connection is unstable.
You're good. I don't know. I mean, spoiler alert. I think that like right up until the very end, I was thinking that that his girlfriend, whatever, was like totally cool. And like with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then when it flipped and it was like she was a bad person, I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
It was okay. I don't know. I guess in my mind, I don't know. Maybe I'm an asshole. In my mind, I was just comparing it to like Parasite the whole time I was watching it. And I was like, this movie isn't even, it's not that good of a fucking movie. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I'll give you that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would never watch Get Out a second time. I would 100% watch Parasite again.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for putting it up on this pedestal. I swear it was on a pedestal. Yeah. It was on a pedestal. Like, I feel like people were making a really big deal about it, and they're like, this guy is really good at making movies. It's insane, you know, blah, blah. And I was pretty jacked up for it, and now I don't know if I'll watch the other one, the new one.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that guy if it was 2018 right now, I would say that guy's really good at making movies. But now in 2022, I'd say he's actually not.
Why?
And I'd say he made a really great movie called Get Out, and then everything since then, from what I hear, sucks.
What, this new movie or whatever? What's the new movie called?
Nope.
Yeah, it's bad reviews or something like that. Bad.
Oh yeah, from what I've heard, it was not good at all. It was really bad. So I have no desire to see it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't.
I
say
did like
good movies.
I think what's her name did a really good job in that movie. I like that actress. The hypnotist in Get Out. She's also
girl.
Yeah, she's also in 40-Year-Old Virgin. She's in like a lot of fucking movies as like the supporting actress. The
girlfriend?
The mom. No, the mom.
Oh, the mom. Oh, I don't know who that.
I love that actress. She's been in a million movies. She's 40-Year-Old Virgin.
She was the girl in. Oh, okay. Yeah.
She was the girlfriend in that. She's in a million movies.
Yeah.
I always see her.
She's good.
Yeah, and I thought that she did a good job in that role.
No, I like the girlfriend. She's my favorite.
Yeah. I thought that their choice of comic relief I thought was funny. I liked the way they did that. Like, I thought it was in a lot of cases, I think that's kind of stereotypical character would be like not believable and like too over the top. But his best friend, the fucking dude who's on the phone, I thought that was what I did like. I thought the comic relief was done really well in that movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's interesting. So I have a few things.
Oh wait,
okay.
Let me add more to that because it does tie in. So we watched that, and then like the next night I watched one of the newer Mission Impossibles, which I haven't watched Mission Impossible since like Mission Impossible 2, and I watched 2 of them. Not bad. I was like, these are actually pretty good. This is a decent fucking action movie. It was the last.
How many are there?
There's like 7 of them now.
What?
And dude, the last 2 I watched I don't know. The last 2 that have come out. Really well done. And I remember years ago someone telling me that. They're like, man, we just went and saw the new Mission Impossible. That was really good. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I'm sure it was really good. But yeah, I was actually surprised. But anyways, we watched that. And then, you know, so day 1, day 2, I was on a movie stint. We were watching movies every night. And my so the reason I've been watching so many movies is my brother gave me his Voodoo account, Fandango account. So he has all these fucking movies that he's bought on there. And I'm like, oh, sweet. So I got all the information for that. It's only in, well, no, it's in both. But I had it in my my room. And he texted me the next morning. I just wake up drinking coffee. And he texts me and he's like, did you rent a movie? And I'm like, no. No, I didn't rent a movie. I'm just watching your movies, that you have on there. Because I could rent movies and charge it to his account. And I'm like, no. And then right when he texts that and I say that, I look over and my baby has the Roku remote. And he's just staring at me. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. Dude, and he had rented Nope. My baby just clicking the buttons on the fucking, just somehow had rented Nope.
Wow.
And it was $21 fucking dollars for a 2-day rental. I was
Oh
like,
my
how the
God.
fuck is that?
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then I'm texting my brother back and I'm like, dude, I think my baby did that. And then just saying that, I was like, that sounds like the worst fucking excuse on the planet. You know what I mean? Just yeah, my baby rented that movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was like 10 again, trying to sneak shit from my brother.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I've watched a couple things too.
Kayla's gonna be so happy with this.
What?
Kayla's gonna be so happy
yeah.
with all the movie talk.
Okay, so the next 3 things I have are things that made me really, really mad. And so now Brad's going to get upset about these things. But the first thing, which I'm not upset about, was a docuseries on Netflix, 3 parts, called The Most Hated Man on the Internet, about Hunter Moore, who I've covered on this show before.
Yeah, he's the guy that released information about women or pictures of women or something like that. Isn't that the story?
Something like that,
okay.
Yeah. So we have a clip from this show that we made about him. And when that docuseries came out, the clip went from 360 views to 1,800. So people were YouTubing a lot of Hunter Moore stuff. Anyway, I think it was actually a really good docuseries, 3 episodes, an hour each. I think that, whatever your opinion may be, and it was extremely, none of it was from his point of view. And he is a scumbag from what he did, but I think it's a really important documentary actually to watch because I think it's a really important sort of time of the internet of what is covered there with his website called Is Anyone Up? I thoroughly enjoyed it because this was just I don't know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The problem that the place he fucked up was he made a website called Is Anyone Up? Where you could go, say you had naked pictures of your ex-girlfriend, you would go on there and post them. And a lot of people would do this. And however, a lot of it, which they didn't talk about, was that girls would just go on there and post pictures of themselves naked. And girls would go on there and post pictures of their ex-boyfriends naked, especially if they were famous band members. That's how the whole thing really started, was having these band members on there. The problem where he fucked up was where he stopped getting people submitting pictures at the rate that it started at. So then he started paying a hacker to go hack girls' computers and just steal these pictures and give them to him. And that's where he fucked up, because then the FBI basically sent him to jail. And it all kind of just got out of control. But it was really fascinating, and there were no laws in this country about quote-unquote revenge porn until Hunter Moore came along. And he's basically solely responsible for laws of revenge porn where you can't post pictures of somebody else. It has to be that person posting the pictures.
Naked pictures.
Yeah.
There is laws. What happens? Is it a felony?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but you just can't do it. You can't post pictures of your ex-girlfriend on the internet. You used to be able to. Now you can't do it because of this website, and he made a shitload of money off of it. And originally, when Netflix approached him about this, he agreed to be a part of this documentary, but then he backed out, which I wish he wouldn't have backed out. I wish he would have given his side of the story, but his side is really just dude, I was in my mid-20s and I was an idiot, and I was making a ton of money, and I don't know, he just went with it. But I think what they really failed to mention is the fact that like half of the pictures on there were girls just posting themselves. They were really just focused on the hacking sort of.
Yeah,
I think it was a fascinating docuseries.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. You watched 2 more?
Okay, and then I'm not mad about that. The next one, the next thing is the Netflix docuseries I watched, 3 parts, an hour each, about Woodstock '99.
Yeah, that looks terrible. Go ahead.
Do you know about Woodstock '99?
I know. I've been hearing a lot more about it, but I remember that. I remember 1999, and I remember them talking about Woodstock. It seems like it's a bigger deal now, or they're trying to make it a bigger deal in this documentary than it was in the news. But
I wouldn't ask you to watch. I wouldn't ask you to waste 3 hours of your life, but I wish that you would, because I think you would be fucking furious watching this. I was sitting there like in my house at like 70 degrees, full body sweat, like so angry and like clenched and pissed off watching this.
Why?
This docuseries. This thing was a fucking giant abortion. This thing was so fucking terrible. This was a back alley abortion.
Or the concert?
No, the festival. The fucking festival. It was so bad. It was 300,000 people at an Air Force base in upstate New York in 100-degree temps with a lack of water, a lack of food, and a lack of security, and it was complete fucking chaos.
I mean,
it was so.
Wasn't that
it made me
kind
so
of the
mad.
first Woodstock too?
No, this wouldn't have happened if the fucking first Woodstock didn't happen. Is this guy Michael Lang? This guy Michael Lang, who I hate him. I have a hatred in me for this guy. He's dead now, thankfully. He died in January of this year, but he was like. He owned like the farm or whatever, or he was the promoter for the first Woodstock in 1969. And guess what? The fact that you did that doesn't make you a good concert promoter, and the fact that 30 years later you get to then do another one. You get nothing for doing that. You get nothing for it's so stupid. The fact that yes, you had a great festival in 1969. It was special. Great. You have now completely sold all of that whole year of your whole hippie summer or whatever. You have sold it like to the gods of capitalism, and you've basically tarnished it, because this guy is then 30 years later saying, let's do another Woodstock. Okay, and it's like, no, you don't get to do another Woodstock, you motherfucker. I just can't stand this fucking guy. He's such a fucking retard. But he says that in the first Woodstock, it's all open fields, no fences or whatever. We're selling tickets. Guess what? Nobody bought a ticket. So they didn't make any money. It was a financial fucking disaster because he spent money and didn't make any money. So he's like, this time what we're going to do is we're going to make money. We're going to do it on an Air Force base, because that means there's fences and we can control the crowd coming in and out, and nobody can just like wander into it. And we're going to sell away all the food and beverage rights or whatever, and this thing's just going to be sponsored up the ass, and we're going to make a fortune. They made a fortune. They made $60 million. But it's like, there was a lack of water. There was a lack of security. Security was basically just pull a dude off the street, give him $500, give him a t-shirt, you're security. Come on. And we grabbed a couple security people, not that many. We don't need a lot. We don't need a lot of water. We don't need a lot of food. And we'll just have people sleep on the tarmac of this 100-degree Air Force base, literally. And it all was just a giant fucking shit show. It was just so frustrating. And let me just tell you, there was a lot of music acts that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. These are just some of the heavy hitters. To start the festival, James Brown is the first performer. Like, okay, I guess that's a good start, but what the fuck? James Brown, Sheryl Crow, The Offspring, Korn, Bush, DMX, Metallica, Creed, Rage Against the Machine, Insane Clown Posse, Ice Cube, Godsmack, Kid Rock, Limp Bizkit, Fatboy Slim, Willie Nelson, Jewel, and to top it all off, the very last performer, Red Hot Chili Peppers. This was like the worst showing of Humans in like recent times.
Like just all those band names? So a bunch of those I'd be... Dude,
no.
1999 Offspring, that would have been That would have been one of the hottest bands. That would have been fucking dope.
I made myself laugh once because I just, in this sea of 300,000 people, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even think we can wrap our heads around that. There's probably 40 or 50,000 people in the town that I'm in. So 300,000 people in front of a musical stage, right? That is a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I made myself laugh once thinking about if you were there in the middle of that and how you can't even get through a Modest Mouse concert today in Portland. And it would have been terrible. And you had a lot of people in this documentary who were talking today about their time back then, saying like, don't fall down, like you will die. You will not get back up. And the fact that these idiot fucking hippies 30 years later thought that they could pull this shit off is what pissed me off the most. And they were saying what happened here, the promoter, this guy Michael Lang, was saying what happened here was the fault of the concert goers. And the concert goers were saying no, it was the fault of the fucking promoters there for not having enough water, for not having enough food, for not having enough security and regulation. And the promoters were like, no, it's the kids' fault for going crazy. Because it was basically just turned into a fucking 300,000 person riot where people were like so much sexual fucking assault. It was heartbreaking. The amount of stuff that came out afterwards, it was like anarchy. It was like it made me think less of humans when you have those people like that there that are all fucked up and dehydrated and there's no more consequences for your actions at that point. There was one reporter there who was like, we saw a security guy like pull someone out of the crowd and he was covered in blood and they took him over to a trauma unit. So the reporter's like, I followed him into the trauma unit and it was like a battlefield. It was like they're just like stapling people's heads shut. They're like shoving IVs in people. There's like broken fucking legs, broken arms, people just blood everywhere. And it was like there was like 2 ambulances at the whole thing or something, and it was like they were so overwhelmed. There was like a sound tower, whatever they call like the sound tower thing in the middle of this sea of 300,000 people where there's like speakers on, and there's like, so people start just climbing on it, like rocking it, and you can hear like recorded audio of them screaming at the people out there like, get your men out of there. And it's like a complete battle, and it's like, oh my God, the staff out there is like going to die. It was so fucking nuts. And then to top it all off, and there was like dozens and dozens of cases of like trench mouth, which is like trench foot I've heard of, where your feet get all fucked up from your like homeless people have it. Trench mouth because the water there was so dirty and infected with like fecal matter. It was so, I don't know why these people didn't just leave. It was nuts. And to top it all off, Red Hot Chili Peppers to end the festival Sunday night. So they've had this shit show of a weekend. There was one story in here of an assault against like a 14, 15-year-old girl that was one of the most fucked up things. It like made my blood run cold. It was fucked up. But I'm like, to top it all off, Red Hot Chili Peppers to end the festival. This Michael Lang guy says he has an idea. Let's hand out candles to the audience. And we're going to have like this is going to be like this huge big statement, this generation's statement on gun violence. Because this is like a couple months after Columbine. So he's like, we're going to have the Red Hot Chili Peppers will play and there'll be 100,000 candles out in the crowd. And everybody else was like disagreeing with him. They're like, Michael, we literally took away all these people's weapons and like things to start fires and stuff. And these people are like, really pissed off. This has been a shit show. We shouldn't do this. He's like, no, we're going to do it. So they hand out 100,000 candles to the entire audience to have like this big fucking bullshit hippie Woodstock statement. And what happens, these people just, and at that point, I'm just screaming at my television, burn it the fuck down. Like, fuck this guy and these people. So then the audience just torches everything and torching the tents and the trailers, and they're ripping the celebrities off the stage and getting them the fuck out of there. And this whole thing just goes up in flames. They're bashing ATMs against the wall. They're fucking ripping money out of them. They're burning merchandising tents and stuff. And like they had to call like the New York State riot police to get up there and get all these people the fuck out of there. It was a huge disaster. And then in the days afterwards, all these sexual assault and rape fucking things coming out of how this thing was just a complete shit show. It was crazy.
Rock and roll, dog.
Fuck him and fuck all those people. It was just a disaster.
Yeah.
But it was a good one too. It was a good documentary, I'm not gonna lie. All right, there's something else here. So, I'm sure you remember a few months ago, I think it was, when I completely exposed the commercial airline companies in this country, and it was Brad versus the airlines round 1, and now this is Brad versus the airlines round 2. And when I exposed their crazy bullshit protocols for what happens if both the pilots die, and that their plan was then to just start screaming to the passengers, does anybody know how to fly a plane?
Okay.
And when I exposed that on this show, how the country went crazy and whatever. So this is round 2, because I found out something else that these maniacs do. And I can't wait for my 3-part Netflix docuseries where I expose the airline in this country and we're going to really take them down a peg.
Okay.
So here's the rule in American Airlines, United Airlines, and Delta Airlines. They have this rule where female flight attendants, and I'm actually going to be seeking help in my pursuit against them. I'm actually going to be seeking help from the woke mob in this country, because I know you're thinking I didn't think Brad was going to seek help from them, but I am going to seek help from them, because I don't know what they're doing right now. They're attacking Andrew Tate and Elon Musk, and they need to be attacking the airlines in this country. They have a rule where female flight attendants have to wear high heels. That's a part of their uniform. Okay? Until the flight takes off, and then they have to switch to flats. And then they have to switch back to high heels once back on the ground. They're obsessed with feet. Is Quentin Tarantino writing the dress code for these airlines? What kind of crazy-ass rule is that? The woke mob shouldn't be attacking Trump and whoever they're attacking. I want them to side with me on this one, and we're going to go after these airlines for this. Why does this bug you? I think it's just absurd
to have a dress code.
I think this is just too extreme of a dress code. The switching.
Why? Well,
the switching.
But then it becomes a safety thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
So why not just keep the same whatever shoes are safest in the air?
I disagree.
Keep those on the ground.
I disagree with you. Dress codes.
That's
part of the job. If you don't like the dress code. I totally disagree with you. I think
it's the switching. I'm not against dress codes.
Okay,
it's like when firefighters are in the truck, they have to wear a certain type of shoe, but then when they're running to a burning building, they have to wear a different type of shoe.
Okay, and
just keep the same shoe.
If you don't like the law, then don't be a fucking flight attendant.
I think it's ridiculous.
Or the rule. I see your silliness. I see the silliness. And I get that you're.
I think I'm 2-0.
I disagree. I like dress codes. Dress codes are good. I want them to look nice, and that's fine with me.
Okay, first of all, I think looking nice for me personally,
it's a slippery slope. You're just trying to make rules and blah blah and start fucking with things that don't need to be fucked with. If they want them to wear fucking certain kind of shoes, let them do all that. If you start taking that down, what's the next step? Then you're going to go into a restaurant and your fucking best boy is going to have ripped jeans and fucking piercings all over, and you'll be like, I don't like this. I want them to look good. I'm paying them. They need to look good. That's part of the job. Certain jobs are meant to be presentable, and that is what your job is. And a fucking stewardess or whatever, they are paid to look good. Fucking
okay. For me, looking good for a female flight attendant has nothing to do with what's on their feet.
Why? It's part of a woman's dress up. is high heels. It's widely accepted. It's culturally that's where we're at.
Ridiculous.
That's where we're
ridiculous. It's not where we're at. It's not where we're at. It's maybe 40 years ago or 100 years ago.
Stay with it. And I'm down to go even one step further. I don't think men should be able to do that. That should be solely women. That should be as sexist as we can get, and that's fine with me.
Why?
That's because again, it's a certain kind of job, and the job is to look good. You know what I mean? Like I mean, if we could go one step further and they had to be in like lingerie and walking up and down, I'd be down with that. Like down with that. That would be.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would be down with that.
You're sick. I think it's. I think the switching is what bothers me. I say whatever is needed to be up in the air, just wear those throughout the airport. I don't give a shit. Wear them all the time. You don't need to be swapping shoes around up there. The fact I don't see why high heels are needed on the ground.
Well,
I think that's just ridiculous.
It's the dress code, dog.
No.
They're supposed to look good. They're supposed to look good.
Why isn't the woke mob going after this?
Don't stop it, okay?
I think that their time is being spent in the wrong places. And somebody needs to go after the rule about the pilots having heart attacks. I'm now 2-0 against the airlines. Wait till I find fucking strike 3, and then it's all over.
I disagree with you. I've disagreed with you on both of them. I think both arguments are null and void and are stupid. And I want my stewardesses to look good, and that's part of the job. And a dress code, and high heels. Fuck out of here, high heels. But then they do the shoe switch because they don't want to get sued, dog, and they don't want a little turbulence and a fucking broken ankle, and then. So they're forced to do the shoe switch. They're forced to do the shoe switch. But as soon as that plane's on the fucking ground, you put your goddamn high heels on, bitch, and fucking put that goddamn suit on and look good, do your hair up, and if you don't look good, get the fuck out of the plane. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, maybe I'm...
people used to dress up to get on planes. Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's a good thing to have the dress code, at least for the stewardesses. When you get on a fucking plane now, people just the worst of humankind on there, and they're fucking taking their shoes off, and they're in pajamas. Yeah. I get so mad going to an airport. I'm like, you're a disgusting human being. I can't believe you can afford a flight. Look at you. And they'll have like Grinch fucking pajamas on, and just disgusting. Already have their pillow around their neck. It's like, you're a fucking disgrace of a human being. You're a disgrace and they're the ones that would be on board with you. Yeah, man, fucking, we don't need high heels, like fucking women's rights, dog. That's fucking sexist bullshit. No, you're a piece of shit, and you should kill yourself. And take those Cheetos that you have fucking flaked up on your goddamn collar. Just go in the bathroom and stick your head down that toilet and flush the fucking toilet and let it just suck your face out into the air at 30,000 feet. That's what should happen.
Yes, women's rights.
And
you're right.
I don't know what you're thinking about. Like, what is a plane supposed to have fucking 100 people on it that can all fly a fucking plane? Like, you have 2 people. Why do you need more than 2 fucking people? You have a failsafe. If one person goes down, you have a failsafe. What do you just want?
I'd like a third.
We already have a short. Do you just think everyone and their mother is a fucking pilot's license? We can't, like, numbers wise, you can't do that. I mean, you're lucky that there's a second person. Honestly, if I was the owner of all this shit, I'd be like, we got one pilot, one plane. Get it, fucking, let's make some money here. We don't need to be paying fucking 3 people $100,000 a year to fucking fly planes around.
I'm trying to save lives and protect women's rights.
Yeah, I'm not about that shit.
I guess I'm evil. People used to dress up. You dress up in like your nice suit and tie and dresses to like fly on a plane. Like you'd never look better than if you were taking a flight.
Yeah, because society used to have they used to shame people. We used to shame people, and it was a good time to be alive. Is shame. And now we live in this world of just no shame. You shame the shamers. And fuck that shit, dog. We need to bring shame back. Bring the shame back. Shame people. You get on a plane with fucking Grinch outfit. Get the fuck out. Get out. Get on the street, you fucking hobo. That's a bunch of bullshit. Shame.
I agree. I see people at Walmart in their pajamas. Like that's like the only you go to Walmart, the only people there are in their pajamas. Their like pants are basically just around their ankles. It's like I just want to tell them you look disgusting.
I want to tell people all the time, you look disgusting. You look terrible.
Look like shit.
And the worst is like the worst is when they're doing it to fucking prove some kind of point. Some fucking blue-haired fucking dyke bitch at Target, like doing it to piss you off. You know what I mean? Like doing it as a statement of just like, I am woman, and I will look horrible, and you need to deal with it. It's like, no, you look fucking terrible. Take the nose ring out. Your fucking shaved bullshit that isn't shave your armpits, you fucking animal. Ugh.
I'm with you with,
but I'm against males too. When a male has like a gross beard that's not being upkept at all, Brad. It's like that shit irritates me too. Like metalhead kids. Oh my god, go to a metalhead show. It's like y'all need to fucking go in the bathroom for a few hours and take care of everything that's happening. Because it's fucking a disgrace. You smell like a bag of trash. Your beard is the most god-awful thing I've ever seen in my life. Just all patchy and like 2 inches fucking long. It's shame. Bring shame back. What is wrong with people wanting to... We need to make people look good. Make things look good. That's why I like Utah, dog. Utah. It's a good state. A lot of shame in Utah. A lot of shame. And it's and it's working out pretty well for Salt Lake. A lot of nice things happening there.
I am with you with the dress code for flight attendants. My problem is the shoe swapping. Pick a shoe. That's all I'm saying. You're right. If you have no dress code, you're just gonna have some lady just in a fucking sweatshirt hoodie that goes down to her knees, just fucking waddling along the aisle, throwing cokes and ginger ales at people.
Slippery slope. Don't change it. I think it's a good precedent.
No, pick a shoe.
It's a good precedent to have. It really sets the standard. It's like, we are so concerned with how you look. This is your job that you need to, very specific. These are the shoes. And because you're going to sue us, I guess we'll let you switch them when we get in there. But you put those goddamn shoes on. And then it sets it's a mental game then. And now they're focused on the shoes, and they're like, why do I got to switch the shoes? They're not thinking about all the other things in the dress code. They're like, you better put a fucking bonnet thing right here. You fucking have that, blah, blah, blah. And then they won't argue about all those dress code things. If you take away the shoes, it'll be a fucking snowball, dude. And then they'll start bitching about the next thing. We don't want to wear skirts. We want jeans. Blah, blah, blah. And then once they get the jeans, they're like, we don't want to wear suit jackets. Fuck the suit jackets. It's like, no. And then, the next thing you know, fucking Lizzo's going to be walking up and down the aisle wearing fucking juicy fucking things up and down and be like, fucking my right, bitch, my body, my choice.
So most of society, you're saying, is dependent on this shoe rule staying.
Yes, it keeps, you're getting it, dog. Yes.
No, I disagree. I'd like to sit down with all the leaders of all the airlines in this country and have stacks of their rules in front of me. I'm just going to go through them with a red marker, and we're going to get this whole thing figured out.
Are you going to dye your hair blue and get a nose ring?
No.
You fucking
no. I'm going to be fucking. I'm going to put them in their place where they belong, and we're going to go over prices. We're going to go over everything. I'm going to fix the whole fucking travel industry and leg room and everything.
Yeah.
Wait till I find number 3.
The real problem is the people. It's not the airline. It's the people in the seats. They are the real fucking problem. They are
a big problem. But the seats are also dog shit. And
the big problem. No, I actually really like the seats. I like the seats because I'll expand on this a little bit. Again, we should be in a time where you dress up. It should be an occasion for you to go get on a plane. It's people just abuse planes. They abuse what's happening. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing feat that we're doing. And yet 90% of people on planes are like, just doing the dumbest shit. You just imagine where all these people are going. And it's like, look at you filthy fucking animal. You don't need to be on this trip. And then so when you do go on a plane, I like the seats because it's like, if I'm on a plane, I'm done flying with those fucking animals. I'm either in the front of coach to where I have the leg room and the premier seating, or I'm in first class. That's the rest of my life. I'm never doing it. After the experience in Colorado, I'm never sitting in the pig trough with those fucking animals again. And then so I kind of like the pig trough because it's like I get to look back and be like, fucking peons. Yeah, no one in the fucking Grinch outfit is from 7 Up. You know, from 7 Up, no one's in a Grinch outfit. There's much more, business people, nice shoes, a lot of high heels going on in the front few rows. You know, it's the fucking Converse, the stinky people. They're on like 27, 28, 29. Fuck those people. And I love looking back. Yeah, and then the front bathroom, no. You don't get the front bathroom. Fuck it. I hate those people. Those people in 13, no. Take your ass back down to 30 and go share that fucking pig trough with you fucking animals.
Huh.
Yep. I'm all about the seating. Make them cram in there. When you're in like seat 6 and you see a 300-pounder get on and he just keeps walking to the back, I'm like, yes. I'm just
maybe if
so
you gave
enjoying.
These people,
so enjoying. And
I
hope he's in a middle seat too. I hope he's fucking right in the middle, just squashed down. And then Brad's sitting there going to a fucking NFL game, and he's like, "Fuck!" And he has to just sit there and just deal with that. And it's like, yeah. I bet you wish there was more of a dress code now.
If you gave these people nice, luxurious things, maybe they would act different.
No, it's the opposite, dog.
Maybe.
If you all act like pigs, that's what you get, and that's what we got. That's what we got.
It's an awful experience, and it should be fixed. And I'm going to start with the shoes and add another pilot.
No.
Don't worry. The last thing that pissed me off was the Andrew Tate cancellation.
He's not he's not really being canceled. He's getting so much in the last few weeks. He's been getting so much more hype than anything. Everyone knows his name now. A month and a half ago, no one knew his name, and now every liberal person knows who Andrew Tate is. And I've been seeing so awesome. Many videos of fucking Bull Dyke just so pissed and just like, this fucking asshole, and just like look at this.
Yeah,
but they're just trying to like make him sound stupid, and it's like I don't know who you're selling this to. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're just making him more famous.
I think I was the last person to find out about him before he went like straight up on the chart famous. You know what I mean? Like when I told you about that Mom's House episode, that was like right before it went like mainstream.
Dude, honestly, I think they are primarily responsible for the Andrew Tate.
Could be. Yeah.
Like, that gave that dude so much more exposure.
And that was December.
Yeah.
No, the last tiny flicker of hope. So there's a
documentary or something, or are you just saying in general this?
No, in general. Here's the thing. I had one tiny last little flicker of hope in the internet, and that it got extinguished.
What do you think Andrew Tate would say about high heels and airplanes? Because I bet he would feel very strongly.
He'd agree with you.
Yeah, he would absolutely agree with me.
Yes.
Like, bitch,
well,
put the high heels on.
He would agree with you. He would say he doesn't give a fuck and just, swap the shoes. But the fact that it got canceled Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, all in the same weekend means that all those places called each other, or someone told all these places all at once. There's no more denying it at this point. All of them did it at the same time. These are all owned by different things. So it was like, it was heartbreaking.
We have a huge problem. The main problem is not high heels. It's not two pilots. It ain't fucking any of this shit. The biggest problem we have in America right now, in the world, is these things control the fucking world. They control the narrative of how the world works. They literally are controlling elections. Like, it's not a conspiracy. Like, it's not like, oh, there's a guy like, I'm going to ballot switch and make the numbers different. That's not what's happening. They control human emotion, and that's what everyone is literally learning everything all day on their phone. Facebook, TikTok, it's just sucking it in. You control that shit, you literally control the world. It's pretty it is. What's the fucking company in fucking Terminator? That is the company. That Facebook, Skynet owns Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That is Skynet. It's the ultimate. Like, you couldn't make a movie. You can't even you couldn't even have thought up how brilliant the mind control is. And then then Apple is sitting there like making it cool to spend you spend a shitload of money for the device that controls you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna go into debt to fucking own. I'm gonna spend $1,300 fucking dollars to be mind controlled. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Sorry. Continue.
It's really crazy, and the fact that it all happened in one weekend. The fact that there's absolutely no fucking justifiable reason for it. It actually gets me more angry than the other thing. Why? What? Because he's saying things that aren't the new cultural norm? Is that the reason? That's fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. And I think it's racist, too. It's just insane. There's no reason. Like with Alex Jones, yes, you can tell what he did. He did this. Now cancel him. Okay, someone else did this. Cancel him. Harvey, whatever. And what did Andrew Tate fucking do? It's ridiculous. So then that there's no justifiable reason makes me think that because you canceled him, now everything that he said is actually true. So it's just fucking ridiculous. It pissed me off so much. And yeah, I mean, you have all these people just uploading videos of him now, but he could now no longer go make an account of his own anywhere. For zero fucking reason. And then they say, oh, men are 75% of the suicides. Men's mental health. Why isn't anybody talking to men? And then whenever anybody does have an audience that's primarily male, they're then a misogynist and need to be canceled. And then you go back to, why isn't anybody talking to men? Why 75% of the suicides, this and that and this and that. It's like, stop getting rid of the people that are actually talking to men.
Well, no, there is a battle. Yeah, dude. I mean, all this ties in. There is a battle against fucking white men. Like, I don't give a fuck how crazy that is exactly what's happening right now. Like, everything that is happening. It's you. I don't know what. It's
like the only people they want to talk to men are the men that are wearing makeup and have nails. It's like, can't we have people that talk to men that are wearing a suit like Jordan Peterson? I mean, he hasn't been that. No, he hasn't been canceled.
Society is failing. Like it is crumbling apart, and it all has to do.
Yeah.
It all has to do with fucking shoes on airlines.
Between the Woodstock 99 and the Andrew Tate ban, I am really I'm right there in agreeing with you.
Man, I just went down this last night a little bit. I got a little worked up. I got in a fight with some girl years ago. She's a friend. She's one of my good friends.
I thought you were going to say yesterday.
She's one of my good friend's wife. It was a few years ago. It was on my birthday. And I was a little inebriated. She was a little inebriated. And we got talking about, she's talking about all these companies she's worked for. She's like, it's super misogynistic, and you can't get the places you can if you're a male in these companies. They're all the managers, all the higher ups are all men, and they won't let women into the group. And she's like, it's extremely misogynist. And I just,
there's a lot of places like that.
But I hate this mindset of, it's so much harder for us. It's so much harder. Like, no, it's not. Like, no, it's not. You're looking at one fucking thing that's harder for you in your life as a woman versus a man. There is thousands of things that are harder for me. And I just, so you get a point for that, but I don't get a point for anything. And it's everything that's happening right now. It's being fat. It's being black. It's being any minority. It's being a woman. It's like, you don't get to fucking cherry pick one fucking statistic and one thing and just be like, it's so much harder for me. No, it isn't. No, it is not. It is not harder for you being a woman. It is not. There's literally a million things you could bring up on how, no, it's actually easier for you in life. 100%. It's easier for you in life. it is ridiculous as a statement is, and it's not a ridiculous statement, is 100% true. The hardest person to be is a white male, 100%, and it's been that way for 20 years, 100%. Like I've talked about the construction thing. Like, what are you talking about? If you are a woman or a minority, you proven can make more money in government contracts. Proven. It's not even like a conspiracy theory. So wait, how is it harder? How is it harder for you? No, you're just dumber and lazier. It is every fucking company right now in any major Democrat city that does any government contract work. It is just laid out for you to be more successful. It is way harder to be a man in okay. And then this girl's also an Indian, and it's like she gets fucking through her tribe, she gets schooling paid for. They'll give her money for her first mortgage. They'll give just laying things out for him. And it's like, I don't get how you think it's harder for you. None of that shit's available to me. There's no minority fucking, anything that no one's going to pay for me to go to college because of my sexual orientation or my skin color. Like, you could just so many things that you want help for your fucking paying your electric bill. Guarantee I'm going to find some shit about being black, and you're going to find that in Portland, or just on and on and on and on. It's like, there is no, there's, I get the mentality of, yes, you go to work, there's a man manager, there's a man CEO of this company, and you're not going to break that barrier. It's like, I don't get what you want. That's a social structure. And I'm sorry, like, it is just inherent of who we are as human beings, is if I'm working on something and I'm working with another male and we're the higher up in the company, I'm sorry. I'm going to work better with another male, and I'm going to bring males up with me. It's just how it's going to be. That's not sexist. It's just, that's how it is. I can't go into a fucking knitting circle and become the knitting circle king, because it's not my forte. It's not how it's supposed to be. It's not, I'm not mentally designed to go sit in a room with 8 women. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't go do that. And it's like, well, that's a bullshit argument. That's not making any money. It's like, okay.
Well, if anyone's thinking like, oh, Brad, must be nice to have 20% to put down on a house, it's like the oil field's here for everybody to come to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and it's like, same thing. It's like sewage work. You want to go make money? Yeah. There's a lot of money. I would like to go see a woman go get down in a fucking sewage pit and get covered with needles and condoms. You won't do it, will you? Like,
there's some badass chicks that would do it.
Yeah, very few.
But they'd be fucking
very few. Yeah. Very few.
Yeah. The oil field's here for everybody. Come on, make money.
Yeah.
Anybody could do it. It's you literally you have to.
That's your white privilege. Like, you had the money and the blah blah to get. It's like, yeah, but when it's negative 80 fucking degrees outside every fucking winter, like, where are you guys at? Oh, that's the white privilege you guys fucking talking about? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, believe me, it doesn't take anyone with more than one brain cell to work here. My coworkers are fucking retarded. You can do it. A monkey could fucking do it. You just have to be willing to live here.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry that got real sexist.
No, you cancel Andrew Tate. I can't tell you how pissed off I was. I was fucking furious.
I love that. I
man.
love the reaction. Looking at people listen to him. Cheyenne does not like him. Like, and I love it. Hey, listen to this. And she's just like, that is fucking horrible. Like, she almost gets mad at it. And I love the reaction.
It's just extreme traditional viewpoint.
Yeah.
It's just an extremely traditional viewpoint. Yeah. And he says, I would drop my kids off at an all-female nursery. I would never drop my kids off at an all-male nursery. And I was like, neither would I. That'd be fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not, nothing he says is wrong. It's just very blunt and old school, the old school way. But the pendulum, for me, I'm on that side. Whatever, you call me the biggest dick on the planet, but the pendulum has fucking swung so far one way. I'm going back the other way as hardcore as I possibly can. Fuck all.
I think it's
going
to start to swing back.
It is,
because I think it's already starting, because I saw some video of this guy being like, the rebellious thing to do right now is to be like religious or like more traditional. That's the rebellious thing. That's like punk rock thing. And he's like, kids naturally want to be rebellious. That's like the rebellious viewpoint to take. And I think when I saw that video, I was like, oh, that's the pendulum swinging back.
Dude, I feel kind of like
weird.
the internet is kind of like showing hints of things coming back.
Yeah.
Like you're getting much more Republican views, traditional views, kind of seeping through and becoming a little bit more. But then, and I've said this before, but then go drive by a fucking high school, dog, and just look around. And the next generation is real fucking bad, dude. I swear, it feels like it's coming back. A fucking hammer is going to hit that pendulum and just swing it even further, dog. Dude, go to a fucking high school. When it gets out, every kid has a mask on. Every single one. To date. Go right now. Go down to the fucking high school.
I'm going to go.
Go look.
I'm going to start talking to them.
Go fucking look. And there'll be 50. They'll all school it out, and you'll see all the kids walking up and down the street. They'll be 50 feet away from each other, all still wearing a mask. Way more kids from 14 to fucking 18 is the most mask I see. The most mask I see. They are scared shit. Like, they literally scared them. Like, the most impressionable kid, you know, a kid coming into the 8th grade or freshman year in high school, pandemic hits, the teachers, like, don't want to fucking work, so they push this propaganda. Like, be scared. Everyone be scared. No, half of that was you didn't want to go to work and you wanted a free fucking paycheck, you lazy cunts. Like, yeah, what teacher didn't want to teach their fucking class on Zoom? You know what I mean? Like, who didn't want to work on Zoom the rest of their life? Everyone did. My wife was like, I don't want to go back. No one wanted to go back. You know, you think teachers are any fucking different? No, it's the same bullshit. And then so they just brainwash children, and now we have a generation of a horrid generation. I swear to God, 4 years from now, a lot more problems are about to happen. I would love to think the pendulum's coming back. I don't think so, dog. These kids are fucking brainwashed.
I can't save it anymore. It's too far gone for me. But it's like just thinking about, like, okay, men are 75% of suicides. Men are more likely to die at work. Men are more likely to be murdered. All these kind of things, you could go down the list. And it's like, say Andrew Tate saying the thing like, he's saying things like, you know, say you had to fight 100 cats. Could you kill them? You probably could. You start snapping necks and you fight these 100 cats. But a better thing to do would be to convince the white cats and the black cats to attack each other, then the yellow cats to attack the white cats, then the brown cats to attack the white cats, and get them to attack each other first, and then you can go and finish them off. And it's like, let's say there is a whole agenda to sort of make men more feminine or whatever in this country. Okay, say 5 to 10% of men in your country are like, you know, makeup and fingernails and all that, wear dresses, and 5 to 10% or something like that, whatever. Wouldn't you want a giant percentage of men in your country to be like an Andrew Tate or like a toxic fucking asshole dude, so that if you had to like go to war or defend your country, you could send those men to do it?
Wars are done, dude.
Like, but still, then he would also say, like, he would also say, like, if you call the cops, what men do you want to come to show up to save you from other people?
We're done. We're done with
those
wars.
Assholes.
No, China has TikTok. They own TikTok. Pretty sure they probably own a big portion of fucking other, you know, have massive amounts of control in what happens in other social media fucking platforms. You know, and what's better for China? Having a strong traditional America, or having a fucking extremely weak, easily swayed culture that just all they want to do is consume, did not want to produce anything. That is what we're becoming. And we're becoming that because of other countries that are going to dominate us. Other countries that don't want that. Fuck it, isn't it China that has rules like they kick people off of television there if they're not masculine enough? You're not allowed to be a feminine man on TV in China. They shut that shit. They want more masculine men in China. Why do they want that? They want a strong country. We're being destroyed. Like it's and then we're promoting shame. I'm telling you, it all starts with shame. Bring shame back. That'll just fix all the fucking problems. Put your fucking high heels on. Fucking take your Grinch shit off. Fucking, you know, take the goddamn earrings out, you fucking fairy. Like, just bring shame back. Bring shame back. In high school, bring the shame into high school. We're done with shame in the high school. Look at the mask. Not only the mask, just go through the halls. Like, what happened to the fucking football player going around being like, hey, you fucking freak? Like, that's done. That doesn't exist anymore. The cool kids are the fucking blue hair. And this whole 90s style that's coming back, I don't know where this is coming from, but it is not a good look. And I don't know why this is coming back. All high school girls now are doing this whole 90s thing, and I don't get it. I don't like it.
That sounds great to me.
No,
I'm loving it.
Not great.
I've only heard about it. I just heard about it 10 seconds ago, but I already love it.
You haven't seen this phenomenon going on? Like JanSport backpacks are back in style. All Converse.
That's awesome.
No, it's not awesome.
That's great.
It's not awesome. The 90s jeans to where like the buttons come up like higher, and no, it's not. It's not good, dog.
Okay. So you want the values to be old school, but the clothing to be new.
No, but old school. Women should be semi-sexualized. They should be,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's not sexual. The 90s clothing is not sexual enough for you.
It's just it's like it's laziness is like what I see when I.
Okay.
It's like the cool kids now are the fucking punks. You know what I mean? And back in the day, the punks were the rebellion, given a perfect amount of rebelliousness. Back in the 90s, 90s, early 2000s, is the jocks still had power. That you dress nice. Those kids were still the popular kids. And it was a good thing to have the fringe kids, the fucking goth kids, the skater punks, those kids. But it's good to have 10% there. That's good. Because they're like, this power struggle. You can't have 90% the opposite direction. Where now the weird kids are the kids wearing nice shoes. The jocks, the fucking basketball players and the football players are now the fringe. They're the fringe kids. They're sitting on and that's just a bad thing to have. It's just bad. Because what are these 90% kids going to do? They're now the workforce that comes out. In 4 or 5 years, they're the next stage of workforce. And it's like, what are they going to bring to the table? They ain't bringing shit, dog. They ain't bringing shit. They're bringing more. We want everything to be on Zoom. We want to sit home. We don't want to dress up. It's just bad. It's not good. In 10 more years, that plane you're going to get on, and now it's 8% of the people are fucking wearing pajamas and are just horrible, and you hate your life. Dude, 10 years from now, that's going to double. That number is going to double. You're going to get on a plane and be like, it fucking stinks in here because no one's taking showers. They all work from home. They don't need to take care of themselves. And now they're proud that they don't have to take care of themselves. They go out and they're just like, you should respect me and my hairy armpits. Like, go fuck yourself. You're disgusting.
Interesting. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
That was a... Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. I mean, we can wrap it up. I'm getting... I guess this kind of along the lines of traditional thinking is I'm getting my fucking crossbuster tattooed over. I've... Because have you seen...
Really?
You've seen it. I have the cross with the X through it on my...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that all covered up, which I think...
Covered with what?
I don't know 100%. I went in for a consultation and I was like, Cheyenne was talking to him and she wanted this, she wanted like an octopus over it. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why. She was like very, very into this idea of like what could be covered up. And she was going through all these ideas. I went in for the consultation. I was like, honestly, I don't give a fuck if you just black it out. I was like, I've lost my love of tattoos. I'm not really into them like I was 10 years ago, and I don't really care. I don't regret it. Like, I don't have that feeling. Semi-regret it. I mean, if I could flip the switch, I might. Like, if I could just switch and have all the tattoos gone, I might flip that switch. But, but talking to the dude, I'm like, I just need it gone because I need to be able to wear a tank top in front of older people and not piss people off. You know what I mean? The amount of homes I go in for bids and I see crosses on the wall is probably 90% of them. You know what I mean? So it's like the people spending money on fixing their houses are all over the age of 50. You know what I mean? Essentially. And most of those people believe in God. And when it's 100 degrees outside, I'd sure like to be able to take my shirt off or at least wear a tank top, you know?
Yeah.
And I haven't been able to do that all summer. It's like always in my brain. I'm like, I have to wear.
And it's not really a hill you want to die on.
Not at all. I give a fuck less, dude. I do not feel the same way I did 10 years ago at all. Because it used to be such a statement for me. And I was like, yeah, fuck you. I want to piss everybody off. And now it doesn't piss anybody off. You know what I mean? It's like tattoos used to be cool. They used to be cool. Everyone ruined it. Everyone ruined it. They just, now it's not a thing of like being badass at all. Honestly, I see tattoos and I think you're probably a bigger pussy than the dude without the tattoos. You know what I mean? It's like
wow.
Well, no, go downtown Portland. Everyone has fucking tattoos. And it's like, you're a pussy. You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You know what I mean? It used to be, you see it back in 96 when you fucking go downtown, you see dude with tattoos. You're like, probably don't want to fuck with that guy. You know what I mean? Probably not the dude you want to be fucking with. Now, go downtown. It's like you see tattoos. It's like, dude, I beat the shit out of that dude. He's such a bitch. You know what I mean? Look at him. Fucking all of $120 walking around like fucking big old gauges in his ears. No, dude's a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's cool. I don't have any tattoos.
So you got me worked up about the high heels, and now I'm sitting at 90. Everything I'm talking about now, I'm starting at 90.
Well, I have to go here really quickly, but there's an interesting thing that's sort of an interesting thought to dwell on that it's sort of changed the way I look at the world. Recently, I heard Elon Musk say it first, then I heard Jordan Peterson say it after that, is that we don't have overpopulation
I've been thinking
problem.
about this a lot too. Go ahead.
We don't have an overpopulation problem. We're on a population decline, and where there's a huge problem with our planet lasting now because there's not enough people. And the fact is that right now, like literally today, I think this is how the math works. In our lifetime, right now, is the most people that are going to be on the planet. Because we're not and this goes for China, Korea, Japan, United States, are all not at a rate of replacement. That's the phrase they kept using, a rate of replacement. Especially in the United States, like the baby boomers dying out. But this goes for China, Korea, Japan as well. How there's not babies being born at a high enough rate to keep the population level that it is right now. So it's actually going down.
Yeah, I listened to a thing and he was like, a good thing to look at statistically is go to a grocery store and is there more adult diapers or is there more baby diapers?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like that's where we're at right now. Is there's more adult diapers being sold than baby diapers, and that's fucking crazy talk. Yeah, and what is the conspiracy there? Because we grew up. I know we grew up. That was like a huge thing. Being
overpopulation.
We're overpopulated. We're going to destroy the world. We need to bring population down. Just all these negatives about population, and it's like, why was that? And why? And then like I heard Musk bring that up. I heard a podcast with Musk, and he's like, they're like, yeah, but doesn't China have caps on children? And he's like, they used to. He's like, that's fake news. He's like, that's not how it is. Like, they realize the problem too. You know what I mean? Like, and why aren't we talking about that? Like, why is it only 2 fucking people in the world that are bringing this up? No.
Yeah, but if those 2 people, especially Elon, says it, I'm gonna just believe it.
I love Elon. I am on board with Elon. I love that man more than anything, and I trust him. And maybe
the only person I love more would probably be Andrew Tate. But that was a thing where China had where you could only when we were little or whatever, China you could only have 1 kid or whatever, and they were like killing kids or whatever they were. I don't know what they were doing, but then they changed it to 2, and now they changed it to 3. So I think like 20 years ago, the rate was still like going up or something, and now it's going down. It's like maybe my generation and like under me are just not having kids at a high enough rate to keep the population where it is. I don't know. It's really weird to think about that in like 50 years or something, there'll be less people. Like maybe they'll just start cloning people, cloning workers or something. But I don't know. I'd never heard that before until recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I've put a lot of thought in that in the last few weeks. I'm glad you brought that up because it's really weird. It's really weird to think about. Real quick, we got the student loan thing. I don't like that. I don't really have much to say about it, but it does irritate me. I have very much like it feels like a slap in the face because it's like, yeah, but I didn't I didn't get that. It's unfair to me. You know what I mean? Why do you signed a fucking contract? And they're like, yeah, but you were a baby. Yeah, but I signed contracts for living in houses when I was 18. Why did you know what I mean? Like I had to fulfill all those contracts. Why do you get away from that contract? And then the next argument is like, oh, you don't want education isn't a priority to you. You just want a bunch of dumb people. It's like, I guess I kind of get that, but it's still like, yeah, I like privatized education. It makes sense to have everything privatized, and there needs to be money being made there, and it shouldn't be up to the government paying for it. If the government pays for it, what's the next step? Well, then we'll just have completely government funded schools, and what's going to happen there?
Yeah,
that's not going to be a good deal. So I don't really care much about that, but that's something I guess that's very in the news right now. I bought a Switch, and I'm really happy about that. That's fun for the family. That's a fun thing to do with the family. A lot of Mario Kart's been going on in the household, and honestly, my daughter is not good with hand-eye coordinate, like not good at all. She does decent at schoolwork shit, that she seems fine with that, but it's making me nervous with her athletic ability and just and I think video games are actually pretty good. I've been like, I think this is a good thing for her to get into, just to get her motor skills down.
Yeah, you'd think so.
And then she's starting school in a week, so that's pretty cool. And I beat the rats, dog. Rats have been beaten. I don't know if I feel like we were talking about that. Maybe not.
Rats?
I had a massive rat problem, and they were chickens. Chickens bring rats. Like, that's just what happens, is because you've got to put the food out for the chickens, and the rats are like, buffet, dog. And they start inviting all the neighborhood rats over. And at one point, I went in the backyard and pissed, and I heard all this noise. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I went and took a flashlight out, and there was goddamn Circus Olay of rats in my chicken pen. I mean, literally like 6 rats just fucking everywhere. And I was like, fuck this, dog. And they're like up in the roof, like hiding up in the roof. I was like, fuck this. And they put bait out, didn't work. There's a big slab out back of my house. I went fucking Rambo on these guys. I mean, it was a full-on battle. And I stuck a hose in one hole, and there was 2 holes under the slab, and then put rock and bricks on the other side and drown all those fuckers out of there. And you could hear them, dude. They're like... and they're like digging, trying to get the fuck out. And I was like, die, motherfuckers. And then they start coming out the hole where the hose was. Little baby came out, fucking boom, bam, fucking with hammers, killing baby rats, dude. It was a fucking,
Christ.
It was pandemonium around. It was fucking insane. But that didn't work,
fucking
dog.
Genocide.
That didn't work. A bunch lived after that. And I was like, motherfucker, dude. It was about 4 weeks of rat battles, dog. And I was not having fun with these rats. I mean, fucking rats, dog. Like 8-inch long little fucks, dude. Oh,
fuck you.
And then I went to a new bait, a big bait block, and it was like juicy bait. It wasn't this dry bait, and they loved that shit. And it fucking, dude, it wiped them all out. Gone, done. Because I can see all the rat holes because that's what they do. They make little holes, but then spider webs will like get in their leaves, so then you can tell if there's traffic in and out. And all the holes have been fucking covered with leaves and fucking spider webs. So I'm like, bam. I think I won. I took it back, dude.
Gross.
Took the power back. Chickens are living their best life now. They're not being fucking mauled by rats. Dude, the chickens would be like all in a pile, and like I shine the light on it, and a rat just runs right over the top of all the chickens, dog. Just boop, boop, not giving a fuck, dude. And the chickens are like scared shitless. They're like, what is happening in here? I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. You're not coming inside. You just have to deal with these rats, I guess. It was bad.
That's fucked. That's really fucked.
It was fucked. It was not fun, dog. It was not a good few weeks. I was not happy about it.
Jesus.
But I won. I won the battle, so we're
well done.
We're on the other side.
In 4 years, I've killed, I think, 2 mice in my house. But believe me, it was traumatic. Just like that.
You need a cat, dog. Now you own a house. Get a cat. There will be no mice. You get a cat, down with mice.
Maybe. I don't know. I gotta go, though.
Okay, well, episode 91. It was great. Sorry it took so long. It's all my fault. It's been rough. It's hard to do everything and make Saturdays work for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
But we love you guys, and we'll see you around. Have a good day. Bye.